So I'm going to get started again with everyone. You can just listen up, and we're going to do a quick introduction, and then we'll get started with the
Oh, it's got to
questions.
be on the.
And I am going to begin with just muting everyone for a second. You can ask your questions two ways. You can unmute your microphone and ask it when it's time for questions, or you can type it in the chat, which you'll also see if you hover your mouse over or your finger on your phone. You'll see the chat icon, and you bring it up and you ask the questions. And then people on the phone, there's several of you that have phoned in. If you want to ask a question, you hit *6 on the phone. That'll unmute your line. And then *6 again will mute it back up. So if any of you guys, if we are all open with unmuted, and if you've got noise happening, please just do the courtesy of muting yourself out. So let's begin this. Let's start with a quick introduction. Oscar and Megan, you guys want to start?
Ladies first.
Sure. So I'm Megan. I am originally from Pennsylvania, about an hour outside of Philadelphia, and I attended Penn State University. I studied international development. In 2018 and 2019, I served as a Peace Corps volunteer in Panama, doing projects in youth development and environmental conservation. And then at the end of 2019, I joined on with these guys as operations director. So I have a lot of fun touring around with Oscar and our groups and sharing everything I've learned about Panama, the culture, the language, the food.
And she's the cute face of the company.
Thank you.
I thought that was me too. No. Okay. Next.
Well, my name is Oscar Peña. I'm originally from Cali, Colombia, and moved to Panama in August 12, 2009. Prior to that, I was in Costa Rica for 3 years and a half, from 2006 to 2009. I have backgrounds of hotel tourism management. I've been involved with the customer service industry since 2006. I became into retiring services since 2011. And since we retired in Panama, we started in 2017. What else? What else can I say? Sorry, I just missed what I was going to say.
From Colombia, of course.
And I'm very happy to have you all, everyone here. I really appreciate your time. I know most of us, we have plenty of time to spare, but instead that we appreciate that you have the attention to us. And for some of here in this video call, they have already been with us. I want to say thank you to staying and with us this video call. And I will be potentially, hopefully some of you come to visit Panama. I will take care of you with Megan and Rod. And
we can't wait to get back to doing tours. We miss it so much.
We do. I really miss. I'm losing my mind a little bit for the last 30 days. That's another to add.
Okay. My name's Rod. I'm from Vancouver, Canada. I moved here 8.5 years ago. Within 3 months, I met Oscar and hired him to be my personal guide because I didn't know what I was doing down here. I was getting in a lot of trouble. So he saved my butt there. Within a year, we became good friends and started working on tourism together. We owned a local tour company together, but our passion was always working with expats, which Oscar has done for almost 10 years now, and helping expats come here because we live in one of the largest expat communities in Panama, Boquete, and we see the problems expats have, and we see the ones that get frustrated, pack their bags, and move home after 3 years. And so our passion is not to let that happen. To first of all, to bring people to Panama and show them, hey, this is what you're going to get, so you actually know it before you move here. And then once you're here, lend you a helping hand to get through all the different type red tape, language barrier, culture barrier, stuff like that. So my background is in operations and IT. I ran the operations of a large dollar store chain in North America. I was president of a publishing company up until 2017 and running the IT operations down here in Panama. So I run the operations side of Retire in Panama as far as the website, getting the traffic, getting the customer, and then I hand it off to Megan and Oscar, who take you across the country and show you this beautiful country. The three of us you see here are the three people you will only deal with if you come with us on one of our tours. Or even if you're not coming on one of our tours, some of you have already been here and know where you're moving. We also provide the expat services and stuff that you may need to get here and need when you're here. So,
Oh, there's Oscar and Meg.
mhm. Okay. That was interesting. Who was that? Hello.
I think that might have been my dad.
Oh, I just muted the administrator down
And-
there.
Sounds
And
familiar.
just I want to say a comment. Like sometimes people feel intimidated about the second language, and trust me, things even if you speak Spanish, just moving to another country, like I did myself, it can be very challenging. So I can only imagine if it was difficult for me to adapt to with the laws, with the immigration system, every single thing to understand how things has to be done in Panama. That's why one of the things, if we had that struggle, I couldn't even imagine someone who didn't speak the language. So that's why I feel this passion to do the job that we do right now. Just want to be part of the solution for you guys.
Yeah, I want to start this call off with the biggest question. I'm getting constant emails and phone calls every day, and it's the first question in the chat. People want to come here. When is that going to happen? So the question is, do you know when Panama will be reopened? And did the government plan something yet for the reopening? So
Shoot.
we don't know the exact date that we're going to be reopened, but Panama, upon first case, locked down the country. It was one of the strongest in the world about, quarantines and social distancing, not stay at home. Actually, you can't leave. If you leave, you'll get a $100 ticket. And then if you do it again, they'll take your car. So it is a strong process, but it seems to have worked. We haven't been in this as long as the US, but we're already coming out of it. There's been an announcement yesterday that quarantine ease restrictions will start on the 1st of May. And our transport authority and major airline have announced that they're going to reopen on June 1st. Now, what does this mean? Yes, the airport's going to reopen on June 1st. We don't know what countries are yet going to be allowed to come in immediately or what restrictions there will be when they come in. So my best guess, we have a tour and we got a few people left that really want to go in June. That could still happen. We're not going to advertise and trying to fill it. We'll take those people. But I really think our operations, the way it's looking, could be starting again in July, just based on the numbers that we have. If you look here, and I've been doing the numbers, so let me share a screen. Now this here chart, if you can see my screen now, is every case every day since our first case in March. Now, if you look at our daily cases on this first graph, I know it's small, I will make it larger. Okay, we seem to hit a peak around the 250. And
Everybody seeing the
what's
No,
that?
we can't see your screen.
What are you seeing?
Just the regular screen we had before.
Maybe I'll hit the button that says share.
Yep.
There it
There
goes.
you go.
Now,
Yes.
can you see the charts on the Excel sheet? Are you seeing the chart?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So that's our daily cases, and we're down to about 150 now. And it seems to be keep going down. But the most interesting one is this one, and this is why they're going to reopen the country. We're having more people recover on a daily basis than we're having get the virus. So whenever that happens, you have many have been watching the news, and there's this RT number out there. If the RT is below 1, then the virus is going away. If the RT is above 1, that means the virus is spreading. And that the RT number is just every person that has it, how many people they're spreading it to. So if you're spreading it to less than one person, obviously the virus is going away. So our team number hit 1 as a country yesterday. So they're monitoring that. They're still being tough for another week. And then I think we're going to start seeing businesses open. And let me get back to the people here. We'll start seeing businesses open, and then June 1. So if you're looking to
June
come
1,
to
June.
Panama, if you were looking at booking one of our tours, I would look this fall. It's not going to be an issue. I just put a new, because we're almost sold out because people really wanted to come. So I put a new tour in for November right now. And I don't want this whole, I just want to talk a bit about our company to begin with. We're not sure, you're not sure. I don't want anyone tying up any money, so there's no deposit for bookings right now. You can book for free, and I'll hold that spot for you. As soon as we know we're open and the airlines are flying here and you can come, then we'll collect the deposit for the tour. So there's still spots left in November, and if you keep track of the emails, I'll update you every week on any tour openings that we have. But I think we're looking really good for the summer and fall. And Panama as a whole, I think they have, some people might call it a bit draconian style, but, as opposed to Sweden, who did nothing, and now they're having 1,000 cases a day. But I think they really looked at the science here, and they closed, we have no planes in the air, none, besides UPS and FedEx. There hasn't been a passenger flight in Panama in 5 weeks, even domestically. So they've really stopped the spread of the virus. And I think in a week, we're all going to be happy to be out of this quarantine thing. It's kind of crazy. Oscar and I can't go outside our properties until next Tuesday at 4 o'clock. So,
Yeah. And recently, I wanted just to share this little story. I was hired by a couple. They have a repatriation flight to the United States. And that was a couple of weeks ago. And I have the full authorization from the United States Embassy. And I made the trip, I had to do the trip back and forth the same day. That cost me 15 hours drive that one day. And it was very strict, the measurements between provinces, between Chiriquí or Boquete all the way to Panama City back and forth. I went through at least 30 checkpoints with all the paperwork, with my max and all the precautions, and every single time I had to stop, show the paperwork. So that's how strict Panama has been. And I feel it's so positive. That's why we're coming out of it very soon. For some people don't agree with it, but in my opinion, I think it has been a very right measurement for the safety of the whole country.
Perfect. Okay, let's get right into the Q&As. And since we have a lot of people joined us, we have 75 people on right now, and a bunch of you have joined us after I made this announcement. You're all muted, so to unmute yourself, just go to the bottom left of your screen, click on it. You'll see the mute button or the unmute, and same thing on your phone, you'll just tap it, or on your iPad. So who wants to start with the first question?
Hey, Rod, can you hear me? My name is Bob.
Hey, Bob.
And been to Boquete quite a few times.
Cool.
And planning on coming back shortly, I hope.
Mm-hmm.
Currently, I'm talking to you from Colorado. And I do have a question for anyone that can help us with this. Now, I think I joined you a little bit late, but now are all your hotels and hostels and everything, are they shut down now?
Yes, they are.
Okay, now all your restaurants, are they shut down now?
Yes, they are, except for takeout and delivery.
Okay, now I thought I heard you say that Panama was planning on reopening in June. Is that correct?
June 1 is when the airport will open.
Okay.
And obviously, in between now and then, is going to be, the hotels will have to open, the restaurants will start opening again. So,
Right. Now, because I was trying to make reservations actually for a hotel stay for a whole month.
Mm-hmm.
And it just doesn't seem like the internet was working properly, or maybe their webpage wasn't working properly. But then again, maybe that's because they were closed. But
where are you trying to make a reservation?
I up at the, well, actually, I normally when I come there, I stay at the Palo Alto, the Garden Inn.
Yeah.
And I was trying to make a reservation for a month, and it just didn't seem like they were taking them.
Yeah, that's a possibility. Every hotel is different here on how they're handling that and whether because they literally have no administration staff working.
Right.
So
right.
a lot of them have taken the online reservation systems down because they just have no one to follow up with problems and stuff like that.
Well, let me ask, since you got so many people on there, if I may, can you recommend a site, a website, or what have you, where I can find maybe other accommodations because it doesn't seem like anyone is responding right now from, as far as the owners from the hotels or what have you.
Well, I don't think you're going to have a huge problem when it does open up. Like if you tried booking.com.
Oh, yeah. I've done them all, TripAdvisor, Booking.com.
Yeah.
We travel a lot. And like I say, this would be our third trip to Boquete, and we wanted to this time stay for a month. And
yeah, so I would just put it in a holding pattern for a few weeks here.
Okay.
If you want to send me an email so I can put you on a list. I got a few people looking for places right now.
Oh, do you?
So just go to our website, retireinpanamatours.com.
Okay.
Fill in the contact information.
All right.
What you're looking for in Boquete, and Oscar and I both know the Palo Alto people. So
well, he's referring to the Boquete Garden Inn, which I know personally also the owner. So we'll be able to figure it out very easy.
Yeah, we know all the owners. So we can WhatsApp them and tell them, hey.
Now, Justin and Judy, that's what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Because they know us. It's just that just haven't been able to get any response from anyone.
Yeah, for sure. So just send an email, and I'll put you on that list when things start opening up.
Okay. And you said the airlines are going to start flying again in June. Is that correct? June 1st?
That is the airport's going to open June 1st. You can book right now. You can book a week for the Panama City flight in June.
Right. Yeah. Great rates right now too, by the way.
Oh yeah. Like there are Houston to Panama City flights for $250 right now.
Yeah. 250. You're absolutely correct. $250.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. And I'll just stay here and I'll listen to other questions or what have you. And thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Hello, Bill.
You can see me?
Hey,
oh, yes, sir.
How's my future scooter in your car?
It's sitting in the back waiting
You
for
sit
you.
right there. just make sure you don't go apostle up there.
What's that? Say again?
Just make sure you don't go apostle with all these crises.
Go postal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one's supposed to.
Do I have a reputation for going postal?
Okay.
Inside mature.
Anyone got a voice question they want to ask over the chat? Over the voice. We got lots of chat questions.
Yes, hi. My name is Cheryl. Can you hear me?
Yes, Cheryl,
Hello?
you go ahead.
Yes. First of all, your website is wonderful. Thank you for all that information.
Well, thank you.
What are some of the main reasons that people stay? Some expats stay and some expats leave. And also, last question, what's the motivation or the incentive for the government of Panama to offer such wonderful benefits for people who want to retire down in Panama?
What part do you want to take, Oscar? Oscar, you take, why do some expats stay and some leave? Because you've been really...
Okay, so one of the expats they will decide to stay is because they can adapt to the culture and adapt to the lifestyle of Panama and get along with the culture, and they try to make an effort to understand the language and also get along with the Panamanians. And most of people that come here, they want to look for a change. So those ones are typically to stay. Unfortunately, the ones that look Panama and they come here, they decide that Panama is not for them. It could be some reasons like a language barrier, also depending of the weather, depending on...
A lot of times it could be a health issue,
Yes.
or you miss your kids, your grandkids.
Exactly. And sometimes Panama might not, like if you let's say if someone is in the late 70s and they have a little bit health issues and some insurance company will not cover much, and then you have all the benefits back in North America or your original country, and that's also one of the reasons why people cannot stay and decide to go back.
Okay, I'll answer the part about why does Panama offer that pensionado visa? I think they really cracked the code here. Every pensionado couple that comes here puts $2,500 to $3,000 a month into the economy on the average, where the average Panamanian makes about a couple makes about $1,000 a month, and this expat doesn't take a job. So it's a win-win situation for Panama. So they got to offer them something. So they offer the discounts, but these discounts are also offered to the Panamanian people. Like the Panamanian people who women 55, men over 60 also receive these discounts. They were always there for the Panamanian people. They extended them to the expats on the pensionado visa that come in. So,
Okay, thank you.
no problem. Okay, we had someone else asking a question at the same time there.
Oh, that was me. This is
hi.
Francis.
You too.
Hi.
Go ahead, Francis.
Francis, sorry.
One of my questions were, what you mentioned you could add it on November. What dates are those? What's the November?
Yeah, November 12th, I believe it is.
Oh, the 12th?
I just added it today. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have to look. I'll just bring it up for you in a second. Yeah.
November 12th to the 19th.
Which
12th to 19th.
it works really nice because in November we have tons of holidays for independence, like the 3rd and the 4th and the 27th. So the days we pick.
It's really interesting, Jim.
Yeah.
This is the holidays and gets you home for your Thanksgiving, so that's why we put it there.
I know we had talked about doing some later in the year, November possibly, but I know our daughter's getting married at the beginning of November, so it might be a little tight, but we'll look at that. My second question had to deal with Boca de Toro. Does that was an add-on at the end, or?
Yeah, if you want to go, because you basically need 2 days.
Okay, so it's 2
Minimum.
days.
There. Mhm.
Okay, and are you guys there available as guides, or how does that work for the additional tour?
We can arrange all the logistics, transportation from Boquete to the main islands in Boca del Toro. We can also arrange a private guide in the main island. We can arrange your lodging and also arrange your flight from the island all the way to Panama City, and then connecting to your flight back home. So
Yeah,
we can do
that flight will actually be included in the cost of a tour because
Yes,
we
ma'am.
fly you back to David, so just we'll fly you back from Bocas instead. We don't need to be there. Bocas is a small walkable area, but you might want to go scuba diving. We know the best people there.
Bocas,
You might want to go out to Red Frog Beach and
Bocas, that's the island.
We know the people that will take you there. So
Okay, and approximately how much is the addition, the 2 day?
it's $35 for each for your shuttle, and then your hotel and your meals. There's no additional cost beside that. But we just coordinate everything for you.
And activities that you decide to do in Boca as well.
Yeah, it'll just be the price of the tour there.
All right, and my last question was, are there golf courses in Boquete?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we have 2.
How many?
One is an executive course of 9 holes, and the other one is full 18 holes with the most spectacular views of the
Yeah,
Pacific.
it's a national tournament course, so it's really nice.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're coming for sure now.
Oh yeah. Thanks.
All right, who else has got questions?
Much.
What else? What's gonna be the next one? Come on, don't be shy.
We can start reading some of the questions for a little bit.
Brandon wants to ask something.
You hear me?
80 people, someone has something. Most of you are muted out. If you're trying to ask a question, you got to unmute yourself first.
I know.
Right.
No, Vernon, he looks like he wants to say something. Come on.
Yeah,
spit it out.
yeah.
Spit it out.
All right, this is me again, Bob,
Hey, Bob.
the Colorado guy. Hey,
Yeah.
how far is it by car from Boquete to Panama?
6
City.
to 7 hours.
How much?
6 to 7 hour drive.
Okay, 6, 7 hours drive. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Mhm.
You give me a muscle car, I'll give him 4.
Yeah. Oscar does it in 5.
Yeah, I don't know if I
Because
can
he
trust
drives like
Oscar. You know, could I make a comment from, I think it was Cheryl? We lived in, we've lived in several different places in Central America, what have you. And she asked about, you know, the people coming, why do they leave and stuff like that. And we found that a lot of well, I'll just say it, a lot of Americans and Canadians, they for some reason, they can't acclimate themselves to the culture. And I think that people, when they come and they stay, we were in Costa Rica for 5 years. And what they need to understand is that, you know, you're in Panama or Costa Rica or what have you. So you need to acclimate yourself to that culture. The Panamanians or the Ticos, Costa Ricans, what have you, they do not have to acclimate to our culture. So that would be my biggest thing I would say to Cheryl. And I think that's kind of one of the biggest mistakes that people make when they come. You know, you need to be willing to acclimate, learn the language, you know, that type of thing.
Yeah. Like a lot of people, you know, say, I've heard, oh, I go for 3 weeks every year to Mexico resort or Costa Rican resort. Well, that's not Latin America.
No, no.
That's United States down south. So it's not the same. Okay,
Thank
I'm going
you
to
for
read a
that
couple of
information.
questions so we keep caught up here. Can you explain what's entailed to get pets into the country and the close timing involved? I'm not going to go into detail here because this, I keep saying I'm going to do it. I'm going to do a webinar how to bring your pets here because I could talk for an hour on it. It's a lot of stuff. It's very complicated, but it's simple if you follow the instructions. The instructions are on our site. If you go to the blog and just search for pets, you'll see how to bring your pets from USA and Canada. It's about a 10-day process before you leave, but you got to see the doctor and make sure the shots are done and get the paperwork to the USDA and get that paperwork to the Panama Embassy in Washington, and then contact the people here at the airport in Panama that you're coming and get copies of all your paperwork there, and then fly in and pay your $130 per pet fee plus a $12 vet visit and take your pet home. If you don't do it all right, your pet's going to go into quarantine here for 40 days under government care, which you don't want. So that again is another service for our guests that come on our tours. It's a service we provide for them when they move here. But for people who just have been here or are coming here already and want to help move their pets, check us out. We can help you do it. So.
Hello, guys. I got a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Hi, Ernest.
Yeah, hi. Well, first of all, thank you for your time and organizing this event. I got a question about real estate. I understand lots of properties are available for sale now, but my question basically is about new construction. And if you know whom I'm referring to, mostly to, what is that, Grupos Los Pueblos. They seems like have new projects in a Chame area, like in Caracol area, if you know what I'm talking about. So I'm wondering if actually they do have a new constructions projects now, or everything is on hold. So,
What have you seen there, Oscar?
Well, I know in Chame there is some other projects going on, and it rings a bell for me, the company of Los Pueblos. We'll have to look into it. Right now, as it is right now, any construction has been stopped.
Yeah,
Because
it's been stopped for 30 days.
Yeah, because of the current situation. So nothing is happening with developing and construction. However, that doesn't mean that they will, once this all pass, everything is going to be restarted, but it's going to take a little longer because right now we're looking at 3 months to 4 months delay any project.
right, but it mostly, you know, my question was mostly, can you rely on their new construction projects? And is that feasible in the future, or this is just the way for people to invest money, but nobody knows if that's actually going to continue. So can you rely on the companies now who promises?
We can do the due diligence if you send us an email with the information of the company, and we can look at it because we have very good connections in that industry and see if it's feasible or it's not feasible, it's going to happen or not. We'll definitely do it.
If every project is different, I don't think anything's going to change after COVID compared to what it was before, besides the fact you really need to do more due diligence to make sure the company that you're investing with is not in financial problems. You know, the same thing is going on around the world. We can't answer those questions, really, unless, you know,
Companies.
somebody involved in the project.
I understand. It seems like it's a reliable company, but some people do not suggest to do any investments because they said you can invest money, but at the end, it's never going to be built. So it's very hard to.
Oh, I like we've seen that around here. We've seen that in Puerto Regis, a development there that's been almost 10 years in the making that people invested 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, there's not one condo yet.
Yep, that's the concern. Okay,
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for the answer.
But there's been other
Hi.
developments.
Hello.
Well, so.
Roman,
Romel,
Hi.
what's the question? How can we help you?
Actually, I don't have a question. I'll just answer previous question.
Uh-huh.
My name is Romel. I live in Boquete. So I just connected to hear about some stuff about people hearing questions about people trying to move to Panama. That's why I entered. But by a chance, I do know the answer. I'm an architect, and I can tell you about Grupos Los Pueblos. That's a big real estate company. One of the biggest, actually. They built the Federal Mall, which is at David. And what I know about them is that it's property of a very rich man in Panama named Mello Alemán, which I don't know how many projects does he have as residential projects, but I do know he has a lot of commercial projects. How trustworthy it's a construction or a real estate developer company relies on the sales of the projects that they're having. So, for example, I have to be their accountant to know if they are broke or not, but they are very big, and I think that they are in the business of selling homes to people or real estate to people and not scamming them. There are big companies that were opening in the Federal Mall. A lot of companies that are in Panama that have many other commercial spaces rented all over the place. So
Yeah,
I don't think that they will be like some people that will scam you.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, that's totally understandable. I want to get one thing clear to everyone on this call, though. Our company does not get involved in real estate. Like, we don't sell real estate on our tours. We're not going to be showing you real estate or anything like that. It's a topic I really like to stay away. We highly recommend you come here and rent for 6 months. And so looking at doing investments and properties and doing money stuff, then you should be looking at one of our private tours. Because we can set you up with the right investment companies and bankers and stuff like that. So
now, I just wanted to everyone to know this my friend Rommel. He is actually involved and son of a good friend of mine as well, and own the branch of mailboxes in Boquete. And I do take his word that he knows about the Los Pueblos construction company. And I ring the bell. And he's right about they're the one responsible, the Federal Mall. That being said, it is gotta be a reliable construction developer. But however, like Rod said, we're not involved in that. We can try to lead you once you get here, because no matter what, you gotta feel Panama first. You gotta enjoy. You gotta discover what is the area you wanna be.
Yeah, and we're not going to give investment advice on any of those projects.
Exactly.
We can't tell you that, hey, yeah, we know the owner and this guy knows the owner, and ask if someone can have a meeting. That's as far as we would take it. But yeah, thank you for your chiming in there, Rommel.
Thank you, Ram.
Oscar,
Appreciate your answer.
that's
I want
Just
to
a
do a
quick question.
shout out here to someone who has joined us. Her name is Joanne Hatch. Joanne, show your face. Now, those of you, many may have seen this. If not, search YouTube for it. I'm sorry, on HGTV. What's the name of the show, Joanne?
House Hunters.
House Hunters International.
House Hunters International.
On
Yeah.
Tuesday night, like two nights ago, and the episode is on YouTube right now. So if you want to see, and Joanne was the realtor in that episode.
Oh, okay.
So House Hunters International Boquete, you can watch and you can see our little town and meet Joanne. There we go.
quick question for you, please. This is Tito.
Hey,
I know you don't get into real estate, but we live in California, and I just wanted to know like some of the websites that we can go to on our own just to look at like available properties for rent or for sale and so forth. We'd like to know what website you found to be reputable for people to just go take
of course, yeah. Yeah, for sure. Send me email again, like go to
Okay.
Panama Tours, fill out the thing. I'll send you the links to who we know are great, and also to the MLS people in Panama. And
Perfect.
you can really find, you make sure everyone's up on the up and up there.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let's move on. If you get a pensionado visa, can you sell artwork in Panama? I'm an artist. Well, Sue, the answer is yes, but no. Technically, if you sell anything in Panama, a transaction between yourself and a Panamanian or resident, you need a work visa.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes. Mhm.
That's why I was wondering, because I know that with the pensionado, you can't work.
No.
But does that mean you can't earn any money at all?
Yes. Mhm. Yeah. Mhm.
Oh.
Yeah,
However, with the pensionado visa,
for a retired person. Sorry, Oscar.
yeah. Well, sorry. So with the pensionado visa, they also are giving away work permits.
They are?
They are going to, yes.
There's a new
There's a new law.
loophole in the law. We don't know how long that will last, though.
But
So does that just refer, though, the no working, does that just refer to like jobs in Panama? Can you have, like sell your artwork on the internet and stuff like that, that doesn't involve, selling it in Panama? Or
I'll let Rob
you can do that. Because Panama's territorial tax system, you only pay income tax on Panamanian sources. So you can be an online marketer here making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year and not have a work permit, technically.
Oh, okay.
Because you're in your house, you're working on the computer, you're selling stuff maybe on Amazon through Amazon fulfillment and to North Americans. So you're not transacting business in Panama.
Okay, so you could do that, but you couldn't sell stuff at like a market there or something like that.
I'm going by the letter of the law here.
Yeah.
Does everyone do it? Yes.
Oh.
Like a lot of people do it. Like if it's small stuff, right?
Yeah. I'm not talking in like just a sideline, really.
But I can't tell you on an open mic here, yes, you can do that. Because
right.
that's
I
a law
understand.
too. And the difference is so little, Sue. The difference in the two visas is a one-time $3,000 cost. Now, you don't lose your pensionado discounts as long as you're 55 years old because you have a friendly nations visa. Like you actually still get the discounts. So if you want to come here and you think there might be something ahead, first of all, talk to the lawyer to see if what Oscar was talking about is in play and it's going to stay, or if a friendly nation visa is a better option for a more secure work visa.
Right.
Like you have options. For a single, you're looking at about $2,400 for a pensionado and about $4,500 for friendly nations visa.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
it's only $2,000 more, and then you're good for life.
Yeah, it all adds up.
Yeah. Mhm.
Um, okay, well, thank you very much. I do have one more quick question. Is that okay?
Yeah, of course.
So I'm booked for the July 23rd tour with you.
Oh, okay.
And would you, because of this whole coronavirus thing, would you recommend holding off, like trying to get flight reservations for, until the country definitely opens up, or what do you think?
I would make sure, because everything's changed now. You need to make sure that your airline's going to be flexible before you book. That's number one thing.
Yeah.
Like they were before, they gave 100% discounts and credits for future dates and stuff like that. But I don't think if you're in July, I don't think you need to book before June 1. That we know that we're actually open here. So.
Right. That's what I was wondering.
But and depending if you book it on Copa, I can give you the rules and regulations there. But if you
Book it what?
Well, with Copa Airlines, they're the major airline here.
Uh-huh.
They fly daily direct to 10 cities in the U.S. So they're a great option to get here. But I know all their regulations here, so I'll know where they are. Like it's important to know that the cancellation is flexible in case we have to move things one way.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Also, did you, some other people might want to know about this too. Have you heard anything like in the air there about maybe making restrictions on people from the United States because we're the epicenter of the coronavirus?
We've heard nothing yet. We just heard the transport authorities say that they're going to open the airport on June 1. We don't know.
Okay, so they haven't said who they're going to keep out or anything like that.
Exactly.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Hey, Rod Vernon here from New Zealand. How are you doing?
Hey, guys. How are you?
Hey, I'm good, thank you. We also in lockdown like you guys, and we started earlier on, and we pretty much got over it over here. But we're looking at coming over to Panama as well, hopefully within a year's time. We do have a motorcycle, and we do a lot of touring. And we're wondering what the touring is like over there, what the roads are like, and is it feasible, I suppose, with the weather, motorcycle touring. Have you got any comments for us on that?
Oscar.
For driving motorcycles around the country. During the dry season, totally feasible. During the rainy season, it would be better to get out in the morning and probably back home by early afternoon when the storms come. But we have a great highway.
Yeah, the motorcycle, I mean, there is a beautiful stunning roads. Like, I'll tell you one because I love motorcycles. I don't have one yet. But there is one road from Boquete all the way to Santa Catalina, and it's the most outstanding road to go on a motorcycle. The best times of the year will be January to all the way to April. We have some rains in the end of April, May, but not consistent. Usually when we hit the rainy season, you usually get the mornings dry to drive a motorcycle safely. However, if you're not afraid of the rain, just make sure you have a poncho in your motorcycle. And yeah, if you have a big size of motorcycle that is safe to drive in the rain.
Yeah. And if you have it titled properly, you can head to Costa Rica or something, but they certainly don't have the highways we have.
No, Panama's way better in the highways, way more safer.
Yeah, so that brings me to the next question is that we have a very large road bike, more for touring and really good roads as we have in New Zealand. What are the road conditions like there? Is it worth bringing our motorbike over, or should we just buy one over there?
Well, depends pretty much on the value, because sometimes important vehicles, motorcycles usually is not as expensive as a car. Here in Panama, you can find motorcycles. I know there is Harley Davidsons. I know there is other big brands. Sometimes you can find other motorcycles from other people that have bring in here, and they don't want to bring them back to North America or other countries. So there is a market for it. But depends of the year and also where it's coming from the motorcycle. You can look it up if it's feasible, because you have to make sure what is the value of the motorcycle there, plus the cost shipping. And if it's the motorcycles you really love, because I understand when you get attached to something like that. I love my car.
Yeah.
So.
But like Oscar said, check your brand first before
Yes.
you make that decision. Find out from here if your brand is sold here to make sure you're going to have parts and mechanics.
Exactly, that's the main thing. Yeah.
And the roads are excellent. Like seriously, from Boquete to Panama, that's 7 hours, is brand new 4-lane construction.
That's
But
great.
there's not a lot of other places to go. It's the only way to get to Panama. There's no other highway.
Awesome. Thanks very much. That's great information.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome.
How are local businesses changing and how they conduct business? That's going to be a good question after May 1. So next week, they're going to start allowing businesses to open. Right now, every business is closed unless you are healthcare, police, firemen, and or farming. Everything is closed. Mm-hmm. So we're not handling it, and it's been for 5 weeks. So once that starts opening, we're going to have to see how they handle it. So is there a chance they'll make us do a 14-day quarantine when you arrive in Panama? Well, if it is, then we're going to have to do 21-day tours. We can't answer that. So I don't think they would open it if they had to quarantine people. That would just be kind of crazy. Our Airbnb opens. You'd have to check on Airbnb if they're taking bookings here. Do you know if the Airbnb people locally, Oscar, are actually?
They are also entitled with the government, so they will start taking bookings as long they open officially.
Right now the border and airport has been closed for 5 weeks.
Yeah.
So
once that happens, everything will be a collateral, will be open simultaneously in all the platforms like Booking, Airbnb, all the platforms for vacation or flights.
Okay, Oscar, can you get into the differences between Boquete and Volcan, including the distance and transportation between the two, stuff like that?
Yes. So Boquete, first of all, Boquete is a lot closer from the semi-international airport in David. It's only 45 minutes drive. Volcan in the downtown center will take about an hour and a half minimum. The road is a lot more winding, curvy. They're working on expanding like a 4-lane road, but that's not going to happen at least in the next 5 years. That's one of the difference. Now the other difference is Boquete has way more amenities like restaurants, bars, things to do than Volcan. Volcan on the other side have more nature things to do, more trails, more connecting to the National Park Amistad. Also, you can go to other areas like Santa Clara, close to the Costa Rican border of Costa Rica. It's more undeveloped in some ways. There is more agriculture in Volcan. So it's more the farming side of the country. It's more the countryside. Boquete is more like boutique. That's pretty much the best way to describe Boquete. It's more boutique. It's more like things to do here.
And the distance from Boquete to Volcan?
It's about an hour and a half to Volcan and 2 hours to Cerro Punta, between an hour and a half, 2 hours. That's pretty much normal, the drive between Boquete and Volcan.
Yeah, that's the drive. The distance between the two is, I think it's 18 kilometers, but there's a volcano right in the middle. So yeah.
No, it's more than 18 kilometers.
Yeah.
It's
Well, the bird's eye distance.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's no direct public transport from Volcan to Boquete. You would have to go through David, which would take a long time.
Yeah.
You could get a taxi.
If you want to move between, if you want to move between back and forth, definitely you want to have your own vehicle.
Mm. So people either choose Boquete or David or Volcan, and then their intermediate spot is David, where they go for their big shopping and stuff.
Yeah. So if you want to, let's say if you want to be more social, more outgoing, Boquete will be more for that. If you want to be more like it's the countryside, the farming side, and just more quiet, Volcan is for that type of the lifestyle.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, we got a question about work. I'd like to hit this one up. What skilled workers are needed in expat communities for expats seeking work? Not a lot. Number one is, first of all, a lot of people think they can come here and get a job. This is a country of 4 million people. We don't have a lot of jobs available, and 99+% of them would require fluent Spanish. Even if you wanted to work in tourism, chances are, like Oscar and I owned a local tour company here at one time. That person, we had expats from Germany working from other places, but they all knew Spanish because half of our customers were local Panamanians. So what the expat communities need is people coming here on a friendly nations visa, opening up businesses that we need, opening up everything from auto mechanic garages to we honestly need if we weren't short of time today, I'll tell you my seamstress story. There's not one lady or man that's running a seamstress shop here or a tailor shop. That would be an excellent service. I had curtains done in there, and I explained it wrong in my pretty bad Spanish, and turned out to be a nightmare. So yeah, there's opportunities here, but not really in the job market. There are some skilled opportunities required in the city that you wouldn't need Spanish for, but they usually do with Panama Canal construction, like engineers, stuff like that, and some of the high-tech companies like HP and Dell and stuff like that. But really in the expat community, there's not a lot of job opportunities available for expats. But we've seen people come here that open up all kinds of businesses. Hey, Oscar.
Yeah.
Everything.
Another thing is working on the computer, like
or working from home. But I'm talking simple things. We have a expat lady and her daughter that opened up a gluten-free bakery that they bake out of their house. I think they got some commercial ovens now, but they do great. They sell tons of stuff. We got a family that makes packaged meals and sells them at the Tuesday market and sells them out of the house. And like they're doing like big volume doing this stuff. So there are a lot of creative needs. So, okay, is the main currency U.S. dollars? And they're asking from Panama. I like to explain this one because I always get a lot of arguments. But yeah, if you want to have a one-on-one, I'll have it to you. Panama's official currency is the Balboa. The Balboa has been pegged to the U.S. dollar 1-to-1 since 1903. There's no other answer. Panama's official currency is not the U.S. dollar. There are only 2 countries in Latin America, being El Salvador and Ecuador, that use the U.S. dollar as their official currency. We are the Balboa. There's a B:/ in front of the dollar amount, not a dollar sign. So, but your answer is that it's pegged 1-to-1 with the U.S. dollar. So 1 Balboa equals 1 U.S. dollar. So,
and we use U.S. money in Panama.
Yeah, we have our own coins, but we purchase old U.S. Treasury bills for our notes because Panama never had a printing press to print money. So they tried it once, and there's a story. It's a currency story. If you want to look at it in my blog about the currency here in Panama, but they had their own notes for a while, but it just didn't work out for them. So it looks like our official currency, U.S. dollar, but it isn't. It's the Balboa. Are all transport in the tour done by flying? Why don't you give an example, a 2-minute overtake of how we do the tour, Oscar, like where we drive to. You fly to Panama City and we fly you home. And you fly into Panama City and we fly you back at the end of the tour to Panama City. But Oscar will tell you how the transport works on the tour.
So the transport works pretty much is everything customized, and we manage a van that if it's just for the group. We start in Panama City. We do a city tour the first official day. The next day we go to Valle d'Anton. We go to Coronado first, and then we spend the night in Valle d'Anton in the mountains in that area, Coclé. Then we go back to the mountains all the way to Penonomé, passing through the Visa. Then we go to pass to Chitré, Las Tablas, and we end up in Pedací when we spend another night. It's a beautiful beach town with a beautiful sense of community. The following day, we drive all the way back, passing through Santiago, all the way to Las Lajas on the Pacific side. And then from Las Lajas, we make our way to Boquete, passing through the big shoreline, depends of the feeling of the people. This is why we love the size of the group. Sometimes our group majority wants to spend more time at the beach, so we can arrange that. But very much we have a good sample between mountain towns and also beach towns. And it's every day is fun, but it's go. But we had a terrific time together.
If you come on a tour, you'll end up seeing more of the country than probably most of Panamanians have even seen. We drive all over the country, and you really get a great feel of the whole country in just 1 week.
And you take out some of the back roads with those that not many people knows.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Got a question from Gail. Having a little difficulty. Gail's already in Boquete, and she has lost her U.S. driver's license, is trying to get a Panama driver's license. Well, the U.S. Embassy can't not access that for you. You will need it. But the good news is, Gail, by the way, once the embassy's open again, you're going to wait 2 months to get an appointment to get your U.S. driver's license authenticated if you did find it. But I don't know if you know this or not, Gail. If you are in the process of residency and have your temporary card, you no longer have a valid license. So you shouldn't be driving. Your U.S. license is not valid the minute you receive your temporary card. The good news is you can write the test now in English in David. And if you're a member of Boquete Ning, Gail, you can go there and search the form for a driver's license. There's a guy there that has all the questions. If you can't find it, send me an email. I'll try to get them for you. But rather than going through the hassle of going all the way to Panama City on a 2-day trip to get your driver's license authenticated and have to wait 2 months, you can write the test in David in English now.
I have a question.
Yes.
Why is nothing ever mentioned about the points east of Panama City, like Darien Province and around in that area?
Well, there's really nothing there that people live in besides the locals. Oscar, Megan probably know more about that area than I do.
It's a lot of indigenous reservations and jungle.
Yeah.
It's not very developed.
No. And also, it's pretty much jungle, nothing developed, and that area is high chances for, let's say, mosquitoes. It's just very undeveloped, so it's nothing there.
Okay. Moving down, there's 38 new messages. Do the pensionado visas need to be renewed? No, they are lifetime. You got to get a new card every 5 years or 10 years. Does anyone know that has one? Neither Oscar and I are pensionados, but it does not have to be renewed. It's a permanent residency. You just
to clarify with Tracy is in that area they're in, the one thing most people go there is for vacation because that is the entrance to San Blas area and the Cunayala. But for living, not, but for traveling, like explore, is tons to do. Just to clarify that.
You can experience indigenous culture there, but
It is beautiful.
most people won't go there to live.
Yeah.
Next.
Okay, I got NC Miami. That's the name of your computer, so I don't know your first name. You're asking, what does acclimating mean except learning the language? Acclimating, getting accustomed to.
Right.
I don't know. Was it you guys that said it? I don't
Yeah.
use big words like that.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot to acclimate to because obviously if you're moving to a foreign country, it's going, a lot of things in that country are going to be way different than the country that you're coming from. So in Panama, it's a lot slower lifestyle unless you're in Panama City. And just things are done differently. The services are different. And so there's a lot to learn and get used to besides just learning Spanish.
That's why we walk you through on the tour on the 7 days or 6 days. We show you how it's done because even in some locations change a little bit how things are done. It's not the same the things in Boquete versus areas like Pedasí or Valle Anton. Each area of Panama has a different idiosyncrasy, put it that way. And that's why you have to get used to it. And sometimes what I will say to everybody is just the expectations versus the reality, because a lot of people think that like, even I made the mistake long time ago, like comparing to where I'm from, but that's never going to be the case. Sometimes I just reply to that, well, you're not Kansas anymore. So we have to adjust and enjoy the benefits of the culture and the easy lifestyle of Panama. Has more benefits, believe me.
Mhm. Okay. Is it easy to buy a dog there and get a dog sitter? It's really easy to adopt a dog. We want to adopt dogs. There's so many great dog adoption agencies working here. A lot of the expats work in that field. And yeah, another business that Okedi needs, we need another dog sitter here. There's lots. Like, you won't have a problem. I've had two dogs all since I've been here, and I'm Oscar's dog sitter. So we are dog sitters around here. And so whenever we travel or when we do the tours, I often come out to the beach and stuff like that. So there's always someone that will look after our dogs. Very common here to get someone to stay in your home for a few days, but there are places you can drop them off too. So, since when health issues, something for expats, home health care is the age. Healthcare is, we haven't had one question on healthcare. Like, I get into the questions here, and now we got healthcare. Yeah, healthcare is, look for. I'm going into detail on my next article that will be out in 3 or 4 days on healthcare in Panama, because there's so much. Again, another entire call could be devoted to healthcare. What happens to a lot of people is they come here when they're 55. Oh, healthcare is only $150 a month for my unlimited coverage. Well, by the time they're 70, it's $600 a month, and now they can't afford it. So you have to look at the options on they may be overinsured by that time, is what I'm saying. They might not need these worldwide packages that they have. So there are options for people who plan to grow old and be put in the ground here in Panama. And I'm going to be talking about those when I write about them. Is moving into some self-insurance and some disaster type insurance and things like that. But all in all, healthcare is cheaper here than the U.S. Definitely not cheaper than Canada when you become a senior, because it's covered there. But for most people, it's cheaper, and it all depends on what type of health insurance you need. So, any benefits for roving retirees who stay between 1 and 6 months? If you get your residency, you get the benefits. Otherwise, you don't. You just stay and pay the same price as anyone. There's nothing wrong with getting residency in more than one country. There's no law against it. So even if you wanted to winter here, spending a couple grand to get your pensionado visa might be a nice plan B for you. And you get all the discounts. Let's see. Is there a direct flight?
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I have a couple questions. What happens when you get your Panama driver's license because you're applying for your visa, but then you want to go to the States to visit? How is your U.S. driver's license still good there?
No, your Panama license is good in the States for as long as you're allowed in the States. Like foreign driver's licenses, I'm a Canadian, and you know, when I go to the States, my license is good for 6 months. My Canadian license was, but now
you're actually giving.
Mhm.
So you're actually giving up your U.S. license when you get your Panama license.
You're not giving it up. You can keep it, and you could technically renew it, but you'd be lying because you're not a resident of the U.S. anymore. But people who are residents of both countries will have both driver's licenses, always.
Okay, all right. And the other question is, how has the coronavirus been affecting the Panama Canal as far as the ships going through?
Actually, Panama Canal closed off March 30th, which it was its second quarter, 5% over projections. So it's having a good year so far. They expect it to be down in the third quarter, but like don't forget, the second quarter was January through March when the virus was in Asia. So they actually did very well. So.
Well, that's good. Okay, thank you.
Okay, we got William. They're coming from San Francisco to Panama City with their Beagle. Is there a direct flight? Yes, absolutely. Copa Air, the best airline, in my opinion, to fly with pets. And we've helped a lot of people fly with pets. And they fly out of SFO daily, 8 p.m. It's a red eye. Perfect time for your pet because if you come in summer, there won't be any heat or anything like that. And you arrive at 6 a.m. You'll have to wait with your pet for 2 hours in customs to see the doctor. So, but fly on a Monday to Friday. Make sure it's not a Panamanian holiday, because if you come in when the doctor's not available, they take your pet away for 40 days and 40 nights. Yeah, see, like a lot of people talk to me about the pets and the long flights. What bothers the pet in all my reading and studying that I've done is going up and coming down. Once they're up in the air, they're probably sleeping. It's a pressurized, 60-degree cabin there, so how long the flight is should be fine for them.
Hi, I just wanted to make one comment.
Hi, Pat.
Hi. When we were flying from Vancouver. We went to Toronto and then had the direct flight with Copa. It's one of the best airlines I've ever flown with. Excellent service, full breakfast, and actually a really nice dinner on the way back. But what got us, thankfully my son spoke some Spanish, is when we flew into Panama City. We didn't realize you had to go to another airport. You have to go to Municipal in order to go to David. We were on our way to Boquete. So we went up and had something to have for lunch and everything. And then because we thought that we had the gate number, but it was for the international. It wasn't for the municipal. And what you have to do is go through customs again, and then we actually went through customs twice, and we had to take a bus to go to the other airport. And I just want to mention that because I did so much homework before we went in March, and Rod, you had some awesome, and Oscar, information on your website, but I didn't have that part of it. I even knew somebody in Calgary who lives there in Boquete, and they never said a word about that.
Well, that's interesting. So do you fly Air Panama from Panama City to David?
No, we flew Copa.
Oh, because Copa, like the David, the Panama City David flies out of the same airport as the international. It's a different.
It's the same airport, but you have to go through sort of customs again. The bus takes you to the air. But if you don't speak Spanish and you don't understand that, nobody explained that to us, we would have missed that flight. I just thought I'd mention that.
It's pretty simple once you know, but if you don't know, it would definitely be confusing.
Oh, I was so stressed. I mean, we just barely made it. And you're right. When you've done it once, my son was with me, but next time I booked something with Airbnb for January to March next year. I'm hoping I'm going to be able to get there because of COVID-19. But I think I'll be a little bit more comfortable even if I go by myself. But that was really, really stressful.
Yeah.
Not knowing that. So the reason I'm saying that, Rod and Oscar, is that maybe you can put something on your website about that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Good idea. Okay. Ron, the electric is 110, same plug as US and Canada. I heard that for renting, it's better to go direct on a website. I heard that for renting, it's better to go direct than on a website. Definitely don't rent off Craigslist without knowing somebody here that can check it out for you. There are some reputable, again, on my follow-up, I always send a follow-up email after this call. I'm going to send you a link to the International Living show. I'm going to send you a link to rentals and reputable rental sites and real estate people, stuff like that. So I will get that up for you, and so you guys can look at the rentals. It'll give you an idea, because we never talked about that, but it'll give you an idea of pricing and stuff like that. What does it cost to rent a 3-bedroom bungalow? Stuff like that. So I'll send that to you guys all on my tomorrow recap email. How long do you need to stay in the country a year? You don't. That's the great thing about Panama. To remain a resident, you have to be here once every 2 years. And it does not stipulate how long. Basically, you have to stamp on your passport once every 2 years. Maybe it's more compared. Is there a second wave? If there's a second wave, you're in the country already staying.
I had a question. This is Francis again. If you get your pensionado, does that mean you have a Panamanian passport, or you still have the American? Or
Yeah, well, that's his residency. You can, after 5 years here, depending on what visa you come in, get a passport. But it's not a passport. You are a resident. You're not a citizen of Panama.
Okay.
You're still a citizen of the U.S., and you must keep your passport updated.
For both countries.
No, you don't have a passport in Panama if you come on pensionado visa.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah,
Okay.
you have residency in Panama. You get a residency card.
Okay.
Yeah, you just get a residency card, and if you want, like if you come on a friendly nation, that's a residency card. So if you come on a friendly nations visa or some of the other visas, and it can lead to a passport. Currently, the pensionado does not lead to a passport.
Okay. Thank you.
So all you second passport lookers, pensionado is not an option. Trying to get through the 41 messages because this call was supposed to be over 10 minutes ago, but we still like answering your questions. And nonprofit. What about, I'm not sure, Amy, what about education and science, math, tech in nonprofit format?
There's definitely organizations you can get involved with.
Oh, let's see what the question. Thank you, Megan. Take that.
Yeah, I mean, of course, Peace Corps is suspended right now, but when Peace Corps gets started in Panama again, Peace Corps volunteers are always looking for help on projects. So that's definitely a way that you could get involved in schools here.
Hey, look, Donna just popped up on my screen. Hi, Donna. You must have been on page 2 or 3. Okay. If we haven't said hi to someone we know,
Donna.
Donna.
One page 2 on mute.
Where is Gluten Free Go? They sell at the Tuesday market, and they also sell out of their homes. You might have to wait in Boquete. There are other gluten-free places I've seen in Panama City. Many restaurants show gluten-free dishes, everything. And meat expense on the way.
So, Rod, I have a question. Can you buy almond flour?
Yes, you can. Got it in my cupboard. I make I make a 3-minute microwave almond bread.
Yes, I do too.
Oh yeah, we have several health food stores here in Boquete. All the other towns have them too. That you can buy all the stuff that you can get at a Whole Food.
Hola, Donna. Looking forward to have you here.
Hi, Oscar. I'm thinking July. That's what I'm gonna shoot for.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Donna was on our January tour, right, Donna?
Yes. Yes, it was wonderful. Absolutely
Donna's a
wonderful.
single lady. She's moving here. She's made the decision, taking the jump. Would you suggest take her tour or not? What do you think?
Definitely take the tour because you will see so much of Panama and have the opportunity to get all kinds of information and ask questions, meet other expats that have made the move. And Rod and Oscar and Megan, they're super. They're really helpful.
And after the tour, do we just ignore you from then on, or?
Yeah, when we were at that final evening in Boquete, you came over and talked to me that I don't tend to reach out enough, and I kind of do my independent thing. You understood me. You guys reach out. I need to reach out more.
That's the big thing, folks. I'm not going to sit here and promote our tours forever. Donna's done a good job. But when the tour is done, it doesn't mean we're done with you. If it's a year down the road, 2 years down the road, we're still going to help you get here. And so we're looking forward to Donna How do expats get their driver's license? It's a simple procedure that once you get your temporary residency card, you have an appointment with your embassy to get your license back home authenticated. Then you go to the DMV, what we call the ATT, or I don't know what it's called. What's it called, Oscar? What's the driver's license place called here?
Certracen.
There we go. And then you go there and you take an eye test, ear test, sign here, sign there, and you get a license. Very simple.
And the test is very simple.
Yeah. What about getting an international license? Don't bother, not worth it. No one uses them or even knows what they are.
Nope.
I actually came here with an international license. Cop laughed. I still had to give
Hey, Rod.
Hey.
Hey, I got a question for you.
Sure. Hey, Mark.
Yeah. Hi. This is Mark. I joined in from Alaska.
Hey.
I want to know what the possibilities of actually driving to Panama are.
Oscar, do you want to take this one?
It's possible.
It is possible from Alaska. A lot of people have done even in motorcycles, but it's gonna be a hell long of the drive.
Yeah, I figured that. It's a long drive everywhere up here. So
Yes, sir. You're gonna go all the way through United States, Mexico, Salvador, Guatemala,
7 countries.
Nicaragua, Costa Rica, and eventually Panama.
And
Seven borders.
Yeah, and
getting your car into Panama can be tricky.
yeah, getting the car in Panama, you have to get insurance. In some country, I don't know what is the condition with other ones, but in Panama, you have to buy insurance for Panama. You only allow the vehicle to be illegal for 30 days. Otherwise, you have to take it to customs and start doing the paperwork. So it's all about if you're like just up for the adventure and you just want to spare the car once you get here. That's one option. Otherwise, you will have to like do all the paperwork to do the importation. And you have to do all the process to check the value of the vehicle, and the customs will give you an estimate of taxes to pay off, and then you can register your vehicle in Panama.
okay, a follow up to that. I have a pet. So is that even possible with a pet to drive from America to Panama?
As long the pet, my logical is as long the pet has all the paperwork with vaccinations and all the original paperwork.
Yeah, Panama has a 10-day window, so
Yeah,
you would have to hustle.
Yeah.
that is
Or
that
get an
is
exception to that
okay.
window. Mhm. But you know, the whole issue, I think we would have to look at that for you.
Yeah.
I would never recommend, I can't be on this call and seriously recommend someone drive by themselves. Some of those countries, you break down on the side of the road, I'm sorry, you're getting jacked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, especially if you by yourself. If people come in caravans, 2-3 vehicles with a group of people, yeah. But
Yeah, that's what I was looking into. I've seen some folks that advertise that actually take caravans all the way down.
yeah, but
You
you'd
know,
have to check on the pets. I'm sure there's a possibility way to do it if it's had all its shots in the right time. But see, the 10-day windows from when you get the paperwork, you still got to get that to the embassies and got to get the original copies back. Then you have 7 days to drive. So maybe there's an exemption for people coming like that.
Yeah, 7 days wouldn't do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh no.
Okay, let's try to wrap up here before our lovely little call wraps up. As a U.S. citizen resident here, when you have a friendly nations visa, do we have to file annual tax returns, FBAR reports for Panamanian banks? You have, yes, U.S. citizens. There's only 2 countries in the world that require the citizens to always file taxes forever for the rest of their lives, no matter where they live. And the U.S. is one of them, so you always have to file your taxes. When you open up a Panama banking account here, they actually get you to sign a W-9. So they will report for you. You also obviously have to do the FBAR reporting, but as far as FACTA and stuff like that, your bank is, you're a U.S. citizen, your bank will be reporting to the U.S. government. So, Oscar, let's talk about English secondary school for elementary age, or I would take English private schools for elementary age children. Oscar has a child in one of those.
Yeah, I have my boy in a school. It's called the Academia Boquete. It's about 15-minute drive from my house in Alto Boquete. It's bilingual. It has a very good campus. It has very good classrooms. there is other schools bilingual in downtown. One is Catholic, the other one is semi-Catholic. There is one that is more Christian. There is other options in David, and there is also options in Panama City. The one my son is in right now is very decent right now with the school system, with the whole situation with the COVID-19. They're looking at potentially change the schedule to international, was I call the calendar B, which is will be starting the classes in August and finishing in May next year, which in my opinion will be tremendous benefit for Panama economy, because that means Panama will have 2 high seasons, but that's another type of conversation. But yeah, the school that my son is very, I like it. It's not perfect, but it's definitely better than most that I have checked in the past.
It's bilingual, but there are also purely English schools too.
Yes, then we have the Oxford in David as well.
A follow-up to my other question, the other question about taxes. Is Canada the second country? No, it's a little country in Africa, which none of you have ever heard of and hasn't actually collected taxes. Canada charges is like the majority of the countries in the world, charges their citizens tax based on residency. So if you are, like say for me, I'm a Canadian, I haven't filed Canadian income tax since 2014 when I became a permanent resident in Panama. I no longer have to because I have no attachment left to Canada. Now, if I owned real estate that I was renting out and stuff like that, then I would still file taxes. But no, Canada is taxation by residency, which becomes really interesting for your entrepreneurs, especially your online guys. You could technically, and you'll see there's a lot of online guys that move to Panama that are not from the US because they can live here tax-free. I could technically from Canada live here, run a I don't know, an Amazon fulfillment site and ship people all over North America and collect the money here, and I don't owe it to Panama because I never earned the money here, and I don't owe it to Canada because I no longer pay taxes. So that's a whole nother webinar also. Okay, last minute stuff. Oscar, do you got any last minute stuff? Yeah, well, yeah, okay, that's one thing. Yeah, of course, as a Canadian, you will get your non-resident deduction taken from your pension. So you technically are paying tax on your pension. Oscar, Megan, you got any follow-up questions or follow-up remarks as we close out here? Because the meeting will end in 6 minutes if we don't.
I guess I better have some coffee.
Looks like
there we
Lolly
go.
has a
Because
question.
I'm not sleeping. Don't make sense for me to try.
Lolly, do you have a question?
Come on, Lolly, shoot up.
Who? Lolly?
Lolly?
Oh.
Yeah.
Lolly?
Is that you, Lolly?
Am I talking?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I already asked the question, but I think you said something. I asked the question about U.S. taxes in Farbar,
Oh, yeah.
and my
Yeah.
husband was talking, and I missed the whole thing. So hopefully, if you, I don't want you to repeat it. Hopefully, you record it, and I could just listen to the recording all over again.
Yeah, it's going to be recording. That recording will come out with our follow-up. But briefly, 20 seconds, yes, as a U.S. citizen, you have to pay taxes to the U.S. forever, no matter where you live.
Okay, unless I've not, in 5 years declare Panama residency, then I don't have to anymore. I want to cut off all ties with the U.S.
Yeah, you won't have to if you rescind your U.S. citizenship.
Oh, I can resend it. Okay, yeah, I did that. That's a plan for
There we
me.
go.
That's the only way out. That's the only way out.
Only way out. Okay, any last minute questions, folks? We kind of had a fun group here. What do we got?
Another question I saw was if there are Spanish schools, and there are in a lot of places around the country. Boquete has a Spanish school, Panama City has Spanish schools, and there are also people that do private Spanish tutoring.
Yeah, there is plenty of options for private and also regular schools, language in Boquete.
Yeah.
We have 2 formal Spanish schools.
Quick answer from NC Miami. How many hours of driving per day on the tour? It ranges from 2 to 5, but it's always broken up. Some days it's only 2. Well, Panama City, it's only 1. Boquete, it's like 1. But then some days it's 5, but it'll be like a 3 and a 2, type of a thing.
Yeah, but we even if it's the longest day we drive, probably will be between Valle Anton and Pedací.
Yeah.
We do some stops. We try to do really fun stops on the way.
And
so
we have a lot of fun in the van. We play some Panamanian music for you guys, and
or just go down the hill without the brakes, just the people if it's either they're scared or not. I mean, stuff like that.
Okay. Any other questions?
Well, thank you guys. It was very informative.
Hey, well, thank you guys for coming.
Thank you.
Wasn't
So you're coming with us, Francis? Are you coming with us? Maybe.
Yeah. Yes, we're coming. I'm trying to decide whether we come in November or January. It all depends.
Beautiful.
But we're definitely coming.
Beautiful. We'll love to see you here.
All right.
Gracias, amigos.
All righty.
Gracias.
Bye.
Gracias a ustedes.
Thank you for your time.
Uh-huh.
Stay
Thank you.
safe,
That was really
stay
helpful.
home, and we'll see you soon.
Buenas
All righty.
noches.
Buenas noches.
See you guys.